Good morning everyone. So today I'm going to show you our cutters for our spring jug. Alrighty, so this is our jug that it makes. Nice little size picture for spring. The set comes with two cutters to make the jug itself, and what we do, it hasn't got a cut down this side, so when you put both of these together and press down, it'll give you a single cutout. Alright, so it comes with those. You've got your circle for your base, and then we've got a Hello Spring stamp that's included in the kit as well. Alright, so I'm going to show you how we use them, how we make our jug up. So what you'll need for this class, you need a board and a rolling pin, a card to compress your clay, a knife, some slip and a brush, and then just a smoothing tool, a wooden tool. Alrighty, so let's get going. So get yourself a piece of clay. We're using kiln fire clay. This is stoneware that will be fired so that it can be a functioning pot. If you wanted to do it with a dry clay, you just have your pot as a decorative piece because it wouldn't be water safe, food safe, but it would be lovely for decorative flowers and things like that. Alright, so take a chunk of clay, we're going to flatten it out. Usual style for us, we're just going to pat it out with a pin. So take your pin, no big welts, take it across and then take it back. Keep turning your clay over so that it doesn't stick to your board. You can see my clay is really wet this morning. So once I've flattened it, I am going to leave it to dry out. I might even get the air gun on it. Give it a blast to dry it up a bit. Otherwise, when you try and put your jug together, it's just going to flop. So you're going to keep doing this until we have flattened down our clay. That's it. Once you've got your clay nice and flat, we're going to come in with a card or a rib, and you're just going to brush over that clay. When you flatten clay out, it weakens it. So by compressing over it, it's just going to strengthen that clay up, but it will also open up. I've got a few air pockets here. So if you get an air pocket, just fill it in with a bit of clay, the one up there, and then just go back over with your card. And when you're going down with your card, you want enough pressure to get rid of any marks off your pin, but not too much that you're going to put more marks in with your card. Work your way over. A few more holes up there. Keep wiping off this excess that builds up on your card. Once you've done one side, I'm going to flip it over. Do the same on the back. Tell me boards and clay's really wet, it's sticking like crazy to my board. That's it. Alrighty. Right, before you come in with your cutters, what you need to do is release your clay from your board. It will make it easier once you press through with your cutter, it'll make it easier to get your clay out of your cutter. So I'm just going to lift it up, pop it back down. And then, these are your two cutters, two big ones, so pop them side by side, get it fitted on your clay. Let's see, have I not made it big enough? Oh yeah, just about. So I'll just about fit on there, so I'm going to press down there, and then I'm going to press down there as well. Now, a little bit hanging off my board, but I'm not worried. I'm going to move that up in a minute. Alright, so take your excess away. I've not enough there to do my base, so I'm going to re-roll out. I'm just going to take that bit off. Should have moved it up my board, but never mind. I'm just going to push that on there. Like so. Alrighty. I'm just going to reball that back up. And then, use your thumb just to press down release your cutters. And there you can see, because it's not got that cut down the side, it just leaves you with one nice cut out. One nice piece for your jug. Okay. Alright, what I'm going to do is flatten another piece of clay out now, and then we'll cut out our base. Alright, so I've flattened that out. I've compressed it, so I'm just going to release it from my board. Now then, base cutter. Just got to cut that out. Like that. Lift that up. And then just get rid of that. Now then. There we go. What I'm going to do, just get rid of that. What I'm going to do is put my maker's mark on the bottom. So this is the time you do that. It's very wet, this clay at the minute, so all I'm going to do is just dab a little bit of corn flour on. Let's put some corn flour on there. Oh, that's a bit much, shall I? And then take my little stamp and press it. Alright, I'm going to turn that over. Just going to go over that again. A few marks from my board. Alright, welcome back everybody. So I've stiffened it up. You can see it's not as floppy now. Alright, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop that base to one side. And what we're going to do, we're going to bevel the sides. So, take your knife, just cleaning that off. Straight up right there at the end, 45 degrees. And then just slice down that edge like so. And it's just going to give you an angled cut. Alright, while it's there, I'm going to score that edge. So all we're doing is we're roughing up that clay surface. Bit of a crisscross. Not be frightened of cutting in that clay. And then I'm going to turn the clay over. Got quite a bit of clay on my board there, so I'm just going to release that before I put the clay back down. Okay, and we're going to do exactly the same now on the back on the other side. There we go. Now then, while it's flat on the board, what I'm going to do is score the underside here that's going to sit on my base. So we're not angling this, we're just going to come on in and scratch up, you see, scratch up that bottom there. Come around at the different angle as well. There you go. And then you're going to score around the edge of your jug on the base there. Let's see what I'm doing. Now then, for ease, I'm going to put my base on a turn board. If you've not got a turn board, it doesn't matter. It just makes it a bit easier when you're attaching it and joining it. I'm going to put a piece of paper on there so that my base doesn't stick to my board. You can use newspaper as well. Okay, and then we're going to fetch in our slip. So I've got some clay in a jar here. Just need to add some water to it. Doesn't matter how much water you add to your slip, you just need some muddy water going. Fetch in your brush, give it a bit of a mix. I'm not mixing the whole pot there, I'm just getting a bit of a sloppy mix going in the middle. Alright, and then dab it on. Dab it on those lines that you've just done. Oh, do you know what, I'm doing that and I've not put my two sides together. So I'll have to come back in and do that as well. Right, just pop that to one side. Goes to show, it doesn't matter how long you've been doing clay, you still do things in wrong order sometimes. Alrighty, right. What we're going to do before we do that is we're going to put these two sides together. Alright, so I'm going to do it while it's on my board. I'm just going to lift that up a little bit. Dab my slip down the side. I'm not brushing because I don't want to lose those lines. And then I'm going to come in on this side here, like so. Just lift it up. Dab plenty on. And then what we're going to do is bring those two edges together. So I'm going to bring that one in first. And then just where it overlaps, where that beveled edge is, just bring those two edges together and just gently tap them in place. I'm not trying to blend it at this point. I'm just going to get those two sides together, and then you're going to lift it up and then push it. Ooh, dried my clay out a little bit too much there. I've got a big crack down the side, but don't worry, I'll sort that out in a minute. Alright, and then just going to finger on the inside supporting it and just tapping there. Oh, got some right big cracks going on there. Blend those in. So as you can see there, I dried my clay a little bit too hard and I just got some cracks coming down the side. So I've just come in with my thumb and just blend them in a bit. Just attaching that clay back together before I do anything else. You can see I've got another one here. So I'm just dragging that clay across, smoothing it out. And I'm going to do the same on the inside as well. And I'm just teasing it into shape. Like so. In fact, what I might do, because I've over dried it, just give it a bit of a spritz. Oh. I'm just going to spray it with a bit of water just because I've dried it out a bit too much. Alright, so you've got this seam now running down the side, and all I'm going to do is use my wooden tool. I'm going to use this spoony bit at one end, and I'm just going to drag that clay over. I'm supporting that inside. Like that. I'm just going to drag that clay across. Like so. And then I'm going to come in with my card to wipe off all that excess that's dried up on your card. And then usually upwards. It doesn't really matter with this, you can go sideways. Like so. And I'm going to turn it over. Like so. And then I can support this top bit here. And do exactly the same. So I'm just blending that in. Like so. Then once you've done the outside, you're going to do the same process again, but you're going to do the inside. I'll turn it round so you can see. Alright, so you've got this join here. Use this tool again. Support your outside with your hands. And just work your way down. Just neat. Okay, so after you've done that inside seam, just give it a bit of a squidge, get it into shape. And now we are going to put it on its base. Alright, so fetch that base back in. And you can see it's dried out a bit, so I'm going to just put some more slip on it. And then I'm going to lift my jug up and we're going to put some slip on this outside. So. And then pop it on your base. And just gently tease it into shape. Just come around with your fingers and press it in, or if you've got any overhang. And just tease it into shape. I'm just working my way around. If I haven't got any on here that is hanging inward, so if you've got any that's sort of tucking itself in, you can use your tool right down at the bottom there just to push it back out. I'm just using my finger just to make sure it's sat nice and flush. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up and I'm just going to very gently tap it down on my board. Do that a couple of times. Make sure it's not coming out again when you've tapped it down. It's just bulged a little bit there. So I'm going to pick it up and do that one more time. There we go. Alrighty, now what I'm going to do is join that seam. Okay, so I'm going to come around with my finger first of all, just using the flat there, and I'm just going to come around that seam like so. Turn it round on my turn board. If you've not got a turn board, you can turn it with your paper. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is going to come in with my card as well. So I'm just going to put my bottom of my card there against the bottom there and just gently drag upwards all the way around. If you get too much clay build up, wipe it off. And then I'm just going to come around with my finger again, like that. And then what we need to do, and you're not going to be able to see inside my jug, so I'm going to just use a little cutter just to show you. So I'll use my base. So imagine that is now you're inside of your jug, and these are your sides coming up. You're going to take your slip brush and you're just going to rock it backwards and forwards over that bottom seam like that. Support round your jug with your hand and just backwards and forwards, and it's just going to seal that seam on that inside. Alrighty, around that seam. And I always do this way more than I need to do. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a bit of an angled cut at the bottom of my jug. So, I'm going to use this wooden stick and I'm going to use this angled edge here, and I'm going to put that edge towards my jug there, and then just ever so gently just coming in and just taking off that little bit of clay at the bottom. And you've not got a turn board, just turn it with your paper and you just get that little bit of build up there, so I'm just taking that off. And I'm just going to tidy that up again with my finger. Or you could use a damp sponge. There you go. And then what I'm going to do is lift it off its base, and I'm just going to use a damp finger, so in your water pot, and just wrap that around like so. And it's just going to take that rough edge off the bottom of your jug. There we go. Okay. Now then, I usually put my handle where that seam is. So now as it's nicely secured, I'm just going to come on in, play around with the sides. Now then, I'm going to come on in and I'm going to put my little press on. You can actually do this, and what I should have done is done it while it was flat on my board before I put it together. You can tell I've had a holiday break over Christmas because I'm forgetting everything this morning. So what I am going to do is just put a little bit of corn flour on so it doesn't stick. I'm just going to dust my stamper as well. And I'm going to come in, I'm going to support on the inside. I'm just going to press it on a little bit and then just rock it across. Just pressing it on the bottom there. And there we go. Hello Spring. Right, so you can't see it so much because of all that corn flour. It's nicely pressed in. Like I say, you can do it while it's flat to make it a whole lot easier. You can see it more on the one that's dried out to the Hello Spring. That was my prototype, so it's a bit off centre. Alrighty. Alright, what I'm going to do is thin out this top. So I'm going to dip my fingers in my water pot, my thumb and my finger, and I'm just going to put them over this rough edge. Let's do it with the other hand so you can see what I'm doing. So thumb and finger on that edge, and just gently rock backwards and forwards. And it's going to do two things. It's going to smooth out that rough edge, but it is also going to thin it, narrow it down a bit. So just damp finger, rock backwards and forwards all the way around. Like so. Notice I've gone all the way around there now. And then what I'm going to do is put my spout on. So I'm going to do the seam, as I said before, I'm going to use that seam for my handle, so I'm going to do it in the other side here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand there, like so, under where this spout's going to be here. And then I'm going to use a damp finger, and I'm just going to put my finger over there and then just rock backwards and forwards and gently tease it down over. So I'm going quite deep inside and just rocking and bringing that spout down like so. So you just keep working this until you're happy with your shape. Okay, and then you've got that nice spout on the top. Okay, and then we're going to put our handle on. And what we're going to do, I'm going to flatten out. Let's use the stick, and I'm just going to make that a little bit wider. So I'm just flattening this bottom bit, like so, and just making it a bit fatter. And I'm going to do the same on the bottom here. I'm just squishing it down, making that a little bit wider, like so. Okay, have a look where you're going to attach, like so. And it comes up like so, like that. Alrighty. What you're going to do is score these edges here that you've just flattened. Nice deep scratches. See where it's going to go. Alright, and then we're going to scratch the side of the jug as well. I'm just going to mark where that one is. Alrighty, so I'm going to score there. I'm going to score here. And then you want some nice slip. So, bit of slip on. And I tend to use the thicker bits of slip for this. Okay, just put some of that slip on there. Like so. And then, use the top bit first. Bit of a wiggle as it goes on. Sideways, you might be able to see it a bit better. So a bit of a wiggle, and then a bit of a wiggle down the bottom as well, like so. And because it's been left drying, it's holding up nice and firm. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in with my wooden tool, and I'm just, that bit that we flattened, I'm just going to blend in to the jug. So I'm just coming in with my tool, like so, and I'm just blending that clay in all the way around. I'm going to do the top, and I'm going to do the bottom as well. Alrighty. Alright, once you've gone round like that, I'm going to rinse off all this slip again in the water pot. Get rid of that excess water, and then I'm just going to come round and smooth where I've joined. And it'll help seal it as well. If you think that that's not enough, you can always add a little sausage of clay around the join and then blend that in to both the handle and the jug. But I don't need to on this one. This one's being have. Alright, so I'm just rinsing off the slip as it builds up. I'm just wiping round where that join is. Now then, you want to join it, you want to dry it rather, nice and dry, so this handle doesn't crack when it's drying and it doesn't come away. Sometimes that can happen. So I usually stick a little bag over it and then it'll dry nice. Or, there's another trick that I learned that I really like and that we use quite a lot in the studio, is to use a little bit of wax resist. So I'm just, whilst I'm doing that handle, I'm just looking at all my other working marks and just coming back over and just smoothing out any marks that I've got on it. Just coming around that bottom. Okie dokie. Alright, so wax resist. Comes in a wee bottle. Give it a good shake. And sometimes I'll decant it out into a small pot. But this is the one I'm using at home, so I'm not bothering. I'm just going to get a brush, use a separate brush for your wax resist, and then just dab around that join there. And that will help keep those two pieces of clay together while it dries out. And we'll stop that cracking that you can get. Like so. So just dab it on all the way around. And this will just burn off in the kiln on its first firing. That's it, and there you go. That's our jug, our pitcher that we use using those cutters. Alright, so that'll get left to dry for a few weeks now, and then it'll go for its first fire. And there you have, nice little spring jug. Hope you like that, and I'll see you all soon.